All right, we are back with our monthly look at new games to play, this one for July 2026. We got some great stuff in here. Let's dive in. Have you ever wanted to play a single-player MMO? A game that has all the systems, features, and mechanics of MMORPGs just without the other people? Well, if so, you're in luck, because Echoes of Aincrad looks to be delivering that exact thing. Honestly, the game seems pretty legit. We got a cool visual style, solid-looking combat. It's a bit more anime than I tend to prefer, but that's just the game's origins being based off of Sword Art Online. And yeah, the gameplay, from what I've seen, has my attention for sure. In fact, there's a playable demo of the game that came out during Steam Next Fest, so we've had all sorts of hands-on impressions out there, and overall, it seemed fairly positive. So this isn't a big open seamless world, but rather the game features these expansive open zone environments. It's also a fantasy world. You're gonna get the typical assortment of biomes with forests, swamps, deserts, mountains, and plains. There's a variety of points of interest in these areas. You'll fight enemies, collect loot in castles, ruins, and caves, while then also visiting towns and villages where you chat with NPC traders and quest givers. In addition to having those points of interest, every zone also has a few different systems and things to engage with, like you got chests to collect bonus loot, there are events including these boss summon battles, and then they've got these towers that reveal the points of interest in the surrounding area. Combat is full action, light and heavy attacks, combo chains, contextual attacks, block, dodge, parry, and several abilities unique to every weapon. They've got progression with you collecting mats to craft items, there's an upgrade system to make weapons stronger, and then your character levels up with you picking what attributes to increase as you do. Something interesting too is that the game's narrative, the whole thing takes place in this massive castle apparently, with every floor of the castle being its own biome, and there's like 100 floors or something. I don't know, pretty cool. They also got a character creator with a lot of different options to select how you look. You know, I'm not at all familiar with this anime inspiration of this game, that being Sword Art Online, but looking at the gameplay and the systems, I think the game here does look pretty good. I'm hoping to jump into the demo maybe sometime in the next week to get some hands-on time with the game myself. Looking forward to it. Echoes of Aincrad launches on July 9th. It'll be coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. All right, before we continue this month's list, we got a quick word from today's sponsor, which is another game you might want to check out. Today's video is sponsored by Flying Amateurs for their upcoming game Above Land Rhapsody, a co-op action RPG roguelite where you take flight on an adventure in the above lands, exploring floating islands, ancient ruins, and strange civilizations full of monster secrets and plenty of chaos. There are dozens of weapons and over 1,000 perks, offering tons of combinations that completely change how every run plays. For example, you can dunk on monsters with a basketball, smash them with a folding chair, or shred them with a guitar, and there are some perks even stranger, like shouting goofy commands into your mic to trigger a critical hit. That's a real thing. You can play the game solo or in groups of up to 3, with there being drop-in, drop-out co-op. Above Land Rhapsody is set to release later this year. If you'd like to learn more, be sure to wishlist the game on Steam and check out the link below. Alrighty, back into the list. One of the most beloved Assassin's Creed games has a full-blown remake this month. I am, of course, talking about Black Flag with the Resynced remake. This is a complete update to the game, staying faithful to its origins, but totally overhauling the visuals, gameplay, and even adding some new content. Frankly, this looks fantastic, and Lord knows Ubisoft could use a win, especially after the blunder that was Skull and Bones, and from early previews, it seems like Resynced might be the win that they need. Now, if you never played a Black Flag, this has us taking on the role of Edward Kenway, Captain of the Jackdaw. The game blends the traditional Assassin's Creed stealth gameplay style with swashbuckling action as you brawl with foes using your swords and pistols. It also boasts some of the best naval combat in any game ever, as you command a crew, pilot your ship, and take out enemy vessels out on the high seas. Now, according to the Steam page, combat has been rebuilt for more dynamic encounters, emphasizing parries and takedowns, while stealth and parkour have been improved for smoother escapes and assassinations. The naval combat features new alternate fire modes. We've got exclusive new content with new storylines dedicated to fan favorite characters such as Blackbeard. There's also 3 new officers joining you on your journey as part of the main narrative. And they've got some new sea shanties, new pets, a photo mode, and some quality of life additions. Black Flag Resynced launches on July 9th. It'll be coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Next up, we have got The Mound. This game was not on my radar until putting together this month's list, but man, does this look interesting. It's a 4-player co-op expedition game where you form a group of explorers searching for treasure in a jungle cursed by Cthulhu. Of course, inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft, you will will be fighting off madness, which is an actual literal in-game mechanic, as you explore this coastal jungle full of horrors and unpredictable threats. Prior to each expedition, you prepare on the galleon, equipping yourself with consumables, healing items, ammo, weapons, and tools, also deciding which part of the jungle you want to explore, and then you hop into the rowboat, ship out, arrive on the mainland, and then push through the jungle, trying to get further and further with every run. The goal is pretty simple. You get as far as you can, collecting valuables and resources, completing quests, and then heading back before things go too far south, because as you venture deeper, fighting back the undead, collecting things, you're also going to have to pay attention to trying to maintain your sanity. Otherwise, you're going to start hearing and seeing things that aren't really there, or maybe some new things that are really there. It's a cool setting. Game looks really interesting. The Mound will be launching on July 15th, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. ZeroSpace is a hybrid sci-fi RTS RPG where you play as the commander of the Protectorate, dedicated to securing humanity's place in the galaxy. This is a massive multi-faction war taking place in this RTS RPG hybrid, and it's really neat looking. So basically, you've got the typical real-time strategy foundation. You gather resources, construct a base with production and upgrade facilities, and then you use those to build up an army that you have control of and use to eliminate the opposition on the current map that you're on. But then on top of that, there is a whole RPG layer. You've got cutscenes, NPC dialogue, various choice points and progression systems. And then further on top of that is this large-scale galactic conflict taking place between multiple factions fighting for control of the galaxy. The game features several gameplay modes. You got solo, co-op with AI, and PvP. There's a single-player campaign with 15 main story missions and choices with dialogue trees similar to Mass Effect and Baldur's Gate, hours of cinematic cutscenes and interactive dialogues where your choices will dictate the game's outcome. There are 10 specialist heroes from various factions in campaign mode that you'll build relationships with, or select from over 14 to lead you in multiplayer games. Then there is this separate persistent galaxy map with multiple game modes that all contribute towards the shared conquest. Again, that is the co-op, single player, PvE, 2 vs AI, 2v2, and then scenario 1v1s. And all of whatever of those you participate in, they all work towards the conquest that's happening between these factions of the galaxy map. There are 4 main factions, from plant species to organic robots, and 7 mercenary factions that deliver even more specialized battle groups. Really exciting stuff for RTS fans. This one kind of came out of nowhere. It's a cool concept. The game looks pretty neat. ZeroSpace will be launching on July 20th, coming to PC via Steam. Tears of Metal is a medieval hack-and-slash co-op roguelike with large-scale, over-the-top combat that reminds me a lot of Dynasty Warriors. You're carving your way through hordes of enemies with the support of your Scottish battalion and some sick metal riffs to highlight the action. So the game is mission-based. You're going to move through the lands, picking what direction to progress in. Every spot has its own unique landscape, encounters, and rewards. You then smash your way through the opposition, powering up in the process. You'll recruit members for your army, which are there supporting you in these large-scale encounters. You get a variety of infantrymen, spearmen, and archers. There are quite a few progression systems as you pick permanent upgrades for your troops as they gain experience and level up. There's also a ton of different powerful upgrades and over 100 artifacts which can be combined to create unique builds for you and your troops. And there are multiple playable heroes, every one coming with their own special attacks and playstyles. You've also got your settlement, which is like out of mission progression. You're going to visit this between campaigns. Here you have access to shops. You can buy permanent upgrades and unlock new challenges for greater rewards. You've also got quest objectives to do things like discover new artifacts, playable characters, cosmetics, upgrades, and combos. And the game can be played solo or in co-op. Tears of Metal launches on July 22nd, coming to PC. They also have an Xbox launch planned, but no date has been announced as of yet. Okay, next game is called Dinoblade. So think about this. Dinosaurs running around with massive melee weapons in their mouth, killing shit. That's the game. This is described as an action RPG set in a prehistoric world. You play as a young Spinosaurus wielding a colossal greatsword, confronting rival dinosaurs, some of which are also armed with weapons of their own, in a desperate fight to prevent a looming extinction. It sounds stupid, but kind of in a good, funny way, and it actually looks pretty decent. So the game features a sprawling world filled with multiple biomes, from dry canyons to dense mist-shrouded jungles. Every region is ruled by a ferocious alpha who guards the path forward. Defeat them, continue your quest. As you progress, you will unlock new skills and abilities to tailor your preferred combat style. There's also legendary weapons hidden across the lands to acquire, and it's a full-blown action combat game. You got chain combos, timing dodges, rolls, and parries, all that stuff. It's definitely an interesting concept, and if the combat holds up, it looks like it could be quite fun and ridiculous. Dinoblade launches on July 23rd. The original Halo is getting a remaster. Once again, that's right, we've already seen this before just a few years ago, but this one's different. I mean, visually it certainly looks better, at least at a glance, and according to the game's description, Halo Campaign Evolved is the original story, rebuilt with high-def visuals, updated cinematics, refined controls, plus a brand new 3-mission adventure featuring the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson. There's also a broader arsenal of weapons, vehicles, enemies, and gameplay modifying skulls to add more replayability, and you can play solo or co-op with up to 4 players online. They got full crossplay and cross-progression support. That's really nice. I mean, yeah, it definitely looks good. I guess don't exactly get why we need another remaster of the game again. We had the Master Chief Collection come out in 2019, and then we had Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition in 2020. And now we're getting Halo Campaign Evolved, it's really a dumb name, but whatever, here in 2026. I mean, I know the answer as to why this is happening. It's money. And certainly Microsoft is in need of releasing more games to try to make more money, because I'm sure many of you have heard about the troubles that they're having over there. And yeah, it certainly does look nice with its updated visuals, and you're getting a bunch of new content. But man, this remaster cycle in the AAA games industry is getting a bit out of hand when we've got 3 remasters of a 30-year-old game within 6-year period. Like, what is going on, dude? Anyway, I don't know, maybe I'll give it a go. Halo Campaign Evolved launches on July 28th, coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Believe it or not, yes it is. There is a new extraction game launching this month that I'm actually been cautiously optimistic about. It's called Mistfall Hunter. It's basically a mix of Souls-inspired action combat with the extraction framework layered on top. I did briefly play this during the recent test in Steam Next Fest and thought it was pretty interesting. The combat is slower and more deliberate. You got a lot of animation locking, kind of forcing you to commit to your actions and attacks. There are 6 classes to choose from, every one with their own different playstyle and options, and then you got further customization depending on the weapons you have equipped, the skills and upgrades you pick from in the talent trees, and then the gear loadouts and gem affixes that you choose as well. Beyond that, yeah, it's an extraction game. You load into the map, you go around collecting items via chest, you'll kill NPC creatures, you got normal ones and bosses, and then there's other players roaming around the same map that you have to contend with. You try to survive, not die, and extract via these portals that are scattered around the map. They've got options for solo queue as well as squads with teams of 3 players, and the maps contain multiple large bosses, which is probably some of the most interesting part of the game's PvE, these high-risk, high-reward encounters. So yeah, I played for a few hours, and overall I would say I enjoyed it. The game definitely is taking some heavy inspiration from the likes of Elden Ring, with some of its environmental stuff, the enemy design, the NPCs, and just kind of the overall vibe and tone of the game. Now, I'm not sure exactly about its long-term prospects, it's hard to tell, but I will say the core of the game was decently fun. I thought the combat felt good, and I will definitely be playing this some more. Mistfall Hunter is set to release on July 29th, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Also, want to let you know about the new DLC update coming for Doom: The Dark Ages. Revelations is a campaign expansion that will be adding new levels, puzzles, demons, mysteries, and the new chain spear weapon. Also included in this is the highly anticipated anticipated Ripatorium 3.0, adding DLC content with 3 new maps, new demons, and fully upgraded new weapons, plus deeper customization, improved passcode generation, and saving loading personal presets. The Revelations DLC comes to Doom the Dark Ages on July the 7th. You know, honestly, this is yet another jam-packed month for games. I'd pretty much like to play just about everything on this list, so seems like I'm going to be busy once again. I'll try to make some video coverage for at least a few of these, so stay tuned for that. Also want to let you know that a lot of these indie games in here have demos available on Steam right now. Like, I'm pretty sure Echoes of Aincrad, The Mound, ZeroSpace, Tears of Metal, and Dinoblade. I'm pretty sure all of those games have demos still available on Steam. So you can check out any of them this moment, like the second you're watching this video. So that's cool. Yeah, lots going on, lots to play. As always, be sure to let me know if there's anything else coming out this month that you're excited about, that you think might be worth keeping an eye on. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.